Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, maybe you can pick it out or not, I'm continuing the restoration on my blacksmith forge. So, I'm kind of making this video because I was looking for videos on YouTube that showcased how to restore a forge, and I couldn't find many. So I kind of just, there was a couple out there, but they weren't really going the direction that I wanted to go with it. So what I decided to do, the broad picture, I'm going to remove all the rust. The forge is complete. I got to remove all the rust, which I've already done, and then I wanted to paint the outside of the forge, but obviously you don't want to paint. I mean, I could. The paint that I got, the primer and paint that I got, is basically engine block paint. It'll go up to 2,000 degrees, but the forge will actually get hotter than that at some point. So I don't necessarily care to test the temperature of the paint, whether it'll withstand the 2,000 degrees or not. But I'm not going to, regardless, I'm not going to paint the fire pot, which is where all the heat is concentrated. This right here is my fire pot, and what I decided to do with that, I've seen a couple people use WD-40 or whatever, that's great, but I wanted something a little, not, obviously it's not permanent, but something that'll last a little bit longer, so I decided to season the pot just like you would a cast iron skillet or something of that nature, a Dutch oven or whatever. So what I did was I brought it, I took these in the house after all the rust was removed. Now I'm going to paint the outside of the pot, which might be contradictory to what I just said, but I'm going to paint the outside of the pot and the bottom of the pot where the ash dumps out. But the inside of the pot I wanted to season, so I'm seasoning the inside. And so what I did was I took it in the house and I heated my oven up to, put a drip pan down below first, and I preheated the oven to 220 degrees and let it sit in there and get heated up for an hour. I pulled it out. I pulled it out and I applied the just some. You can use any kind of oil, really. I mean, this is not used for food, so any kind of. I used cooking oil, vegetable oil, I think, and applied the vegetable oil liberally. Wiped off some of the excess, and then of the inside of this and the little pot, the ash dump, and then I stuck it back into the oven. The reason you get it up to temperature to begin with is just so that it opens up all the pores of the cast iron. Then you apply the oil so that it can soak up into the cast iron, and then you heat it. You stick it back in. What I did was I stuck it back in the oven for another half an hour, and then just turn the oven off and let it cool down on its own. What that did, and I realize this is not a cast iron skillet or anything like that, but what it did was it left like a sticky residue on there. Plus it got a little bit on the outside. So what I did was I took a wire brush again to the outside of both pieces, and I'm just burning off any extra moisture that's in it and any extra unwanted oil that is in or around places I don't want it. I have already removed all the rust. I'm going to kind of do the same thing with hitting it one more time with a wire brush and um, a MAP gas torch, just to remove any moisture, any unwanted moisture that is in the iron before into the forge before I hit it with before I shoot it with the paint. Um, yeah, so that's kind of where I sit. I've already done the small piece, and I'm just finishing up this last piece. Um, and there's quite a bit of moisture in this, as well, you won't be able to see it, but if you're doing this yourself, and there's really, I've never seen anybody do this before, so there's really nothing else to go off of. So I'll, I guess as time progresses and I use the forge, we'll get to a point where I can do kind of a review or whatever on how this is working out. And it's going to stay sticky unless I do something about that, which I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do as far as the stickiness goes. I would imagine I don't know, I could rub some charcoal in it or something like that. But as long as the oil has penetrated into the cast iron, that's what really matters. I guess it really doesn't matter if it's sticky or not. Who cares, right? But I want to make sure that I've gotten all the moisture out. So I've already done the outside of the pot. Now I'm just doing the inside. Kind of baking it in one last time, I guess, if you want to call it that. Bake in the oils. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to do this, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I do plan on shooting the paint on today. I'll put on the first 1 or 2 coats today, and then it's supposed to be sunny, no chance of rain today or tomorrow. So, and it'll be like the last kind of warmer in the 70s. It's supposed to be mid 70s this weekend, so hopefully that will help. We'll have the sun, good temperatures, drier air anyway. It should prove to be, I wanted to get it done now while the temperatures and everything were in my favor, because as you know, up in Washington it gets it gets cold pretty early in the season, and it stays cold till, well, hell, I wear a hoodie to work in freaking August. So I want to go ahead and do this and get it done while the weather is working with me. So I'll continue doing this, and I'll bring you back here shortly when I get to work on my other project. Like any single dude, I got a million projects going on at once. But yeah, the other one's kind of an interesting thing too, and it does deal with carpentry. Sort of. It's another restoration project I have going on. And there's one facet of it that I think I need to share with all you guys. So I don't even know if I'm there yet. So you'll know what I mean when I get there. But anyway, I'll shoot that video soon. Friends and family, I love you. Everybody else, I'll see you soon. If you're digging what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment. I'm not like a huge YouTuber or anything, so I'll check and I'll answer any questions that are out there. And I'll keep you posted and let you know how it's doing as we go.